Hello everyone, my name's Pupsker, and this is Warframe. Essentially, Warframe is a 12-year-old action game where the whole goal is looting and shooting, collecting everything. So let's get right into it. Let me know if you love Warframe or if you have yet to play. So if you haven't played Warframe before, Warframe is exactly this. It's a game where you go around absolutely nuking enemies, destroying them with your guns, your abilities, and whatever you can really use. Lots of Warframes in the game at this point. There's like 60, 62 at this point. We'll go over some of them later. But this is the essential combat of the game. You're running around, you're shooting enemies, you're using abilities, and then everything dies, hopefully. Assuming you're using abilities properly, right? So this game has been going on now for 12 years. The overall combat has always been fast-paced looting and shooting. This right here is a rescue mission. The idea is we need to go and rescue the prisoner. As you can see, they are unlocking the gate there and rescuing the prisoner. But along with that, I still need to make sure I kill enough enemies, you know? We can't not kill all the enemies. So you gotta remember to throw down your abilities, shoot out the enemies, make sure that you actually have enough of the resource in the top left. It's called reactant in order to get loot from this, but this is essentially Warframe gameplay. It is very fast-paced overall, mostly PvE, but it does have a little bit of PvP if you're into that sort of thing. It's just that PvP is not considered the beloved game mode. It's more so considered like a secondary game mode in this game, 100%. It's just not the fan favorite, okay? It's just not the fan favorite. And all those lovely numbers popping up over there, yeah, those are all my damage numbers. All of the yellow, orange, and red numbers. You can hit pretty much infinite numbers in this game if you build well enough, or, well, if you want to at least. You can hit up to the integer 32 cap of like 2.147 billion or something like that. So if you really go out of your way, you can hit really big numbers, but as of right now, Warframe is a really nice looter-shooter game, and since it has about 12 years of development behind it, it has a lot of gameplay to actually get through. The game is chock full of quests, weapons, Warframes, different characters, NPCs, lore. With 62 Warframes, you'll eventually find, hopefully, one thing you'll end up liking, but, you know, the game isn't really PvP focus, so if you're looking for more of a Call of Duty or a Battlefield style game, you're just not going to find it at a Warframe. So here I'm going to be playing a quick exterminate mission with another Warframe. As you can see, it's a very similar idea, but a different Warframe. This Warframe brings up turrets, okay? Lovely, lovely turret gameplay, so you're able to kind of auto-kill the enemies. I do have my explosive weapons still on, so and my beam weapon, so I do hit a lot of area damage. So it's just pretty simple to kill enemies overall. You can use regular rifles, everything like that, of course. You don't have to use these specified type of beam or explosive weapons, of course. But it's a lot of fun to use them, you know? And you might notice something. Oh my. Visually, Warframe has a lot going on, okay? Once you start popping out explosive weapons, the game, visually, there's just so much happening all at once that you might have a hard time actually figuring out what the hell is going on. And that has always been a problem of these looter-shooter action games, where the action's so big, but sometimes it gets you thinking like, oh, what is happening on screen? Right, so I'm using an explosive AoE weapon, and then I'm using my little turrets to do damage. I also have my little companion right there to do a lot of damage, as you can see. Very good Slyvolpophyla, very good dog, cat. You know, it's neither a dog nor a cat, don't worry about it, it's a dog cat. That's what I'm gonna call it for now. And then I can throw down shields so I don't die. Essentially, I'm pretty invulnerable, as long as I remember to use my abilities. Not actually invulnerable, but it's just really hard to die as long as I don't goof around too hard. And then I just throw out my little auto turrets, and then they pick up all the side kills that I need, and then I continue on with my adventure. Trying to get some headshots so that I can transform my weapon here. because when I transform it, it goes into that mode that you saw before, where it's just explosives everywhere. Oh, look at them. They're trying to greet me. No, they can't greet you because they're all dead. How will the enemies greet you if they're dead? Exactly, they won't. Right, so that's Warframe. If you like the combat, kind of curious. I know, I've been playing this game since almost the beginning. Like, I've started playing this game like 10 years ago more casually, and my god, the amount that's changed over the years is pretty insane. This went from like a mid-paced, like fast-paced game over time to a very fast-paced game where it's just pure chaos. And then you can just shoot out all of your turrets. That's an armored dude, so Eximus. No. What are those called? Bursas? Yeah. Very tanky little dudes. Very cute, though. And then you can just beam them. Bum, 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 bum. And then you waddle away. Then you waddle till the very next day. And then you go like that, and they die even more. So, yeah, if you like horde shooting, looting, shooting, killing enemies, Warframe might just be up your alley. After all, the game's huge. You're not going to get to the point where you're like an invincible god really fast. Okay. So what I did there is I forgot to reactivate my 4th ability. So I got sent back in time to where I was when I activated my 4th ability initially. Don't worry about it. That's just how Protea works. She has a turret. She has shield or slash damage. She has little energy health orb regeneration with her 3rd ability and ammo packs. She has a time manipulation, just a little bit. And then bada bing, bada boom, you ran your mission, you're good to go. That's Warframe, baby. Now this area is called the Simulacrum. It's actually an in-game place where you can show off your weapons, Warframes, and test them out. As you can see, my companion just going ham over there. So you already got a good look at Protea. She throws out turrets, they shoot at enemies, little slashy balls. Your 3rd ability heals you up and throws out health, energy, ammo. And your 4th ability turns back time, sends you back to where you were when you activated it, restores all your health, energy, ammo you had at that time. So very good, very lovely. You can spawn enemies, pause them, things like that, so that you can, you know, properly test your gear without them shooting at you. But there are just so many Warframes in this game that I wanted to show off some of them because, dear lord, is this game huge. So this is Excalibur Umbra. It's a version of Excalibur, one of the base Warframes. You'll understand what that means one day. And he is an amazing, essentially swordsman Warframe. 1st ability goes towards enemies cutting them, but I have it changed out for a buff ability. Your 2nd ability is AoE kind of blind and silence. Your 3rd ability stabs people and pins them to the ground, not his strongest ability. And your 4th ability, the bread and butter, is an energy sword that you can use to absolutely decimate all the enemies. And guess what? That weapon is actually pretty strong, and I love using it, and so do a lot of other people. So there's a lot of different playstyles to get into the game. Once you actually start unlocking all of the Warframes one by one, right? And then think of it like this. They buff each other, so if you're playing the game in a group, because you can play up to a group of 4 in public matches especially, they'll all start buffing each other up, and then you'll be essentially even more unbeatable. Let's say this frame, for example. This is Volt. He is the fast frame. Energy shield, you have a buff or, you know, a little electric attack there, but I have a mod on that makes it buff me. But your 2nd ability is speed. This makes it so you shoot much faster, you run much faster, and it's just a speed boost. I don't have a build on where I have like 100% strength, but if you go pure strength on these types of characters, you get insane speed boost, insane damage to your abilities and weapons, and insane type of multipliers for even bigger damage boost. So clap, 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 clap. If we continue on, the next speed frame I want to show off is Wisp. She's a very similar frame to the one I showed off Volt. Her 1st ability can give shield, health, and speed boost, and electric, not shield, sorry, but health, speed boost, and electric shock. Her second ability is a 3-second invincibility as well as like a movement ability. Her third ability is a AoE damage multiplier that also, I think, blinds enemies, okay? Passively, she's invisible a lot of the time. Her fourth ability shoots out the sun in a radiation beam that actually does decent enough damage and can be modded up and changed to actually be really strong once you get her augment mod. So she is a very interesting frame. Other than that though, speed boost! You just go fast, right? Oh my god, go fast. If we want to look at all of the fast frames, we also have your boy Gauss, who is built for speed because he quite literally has an ability where he just runs really fast. And if you build him full strength, oh god, he goes so incredibly fast. And then you also get big boosts off of his abilities. So I can get a massive movement speed damage attack increase as well. Like, look at that. Look at that chain gun. You hearing how fast that shoots now? Whew. Just the entire time. Just shooting out the wazoo. Oh my god. So there's so many good, amazing Warframes to use. An early game, really nice Warframe right here is Rhino. Reason being is because Rhino is a early game Warframe that can shield himself greatly, can give himself damage buffs, can AoE stun enemies, so he has a good overall kit. So you see here, they're gonna all start attacking me, but I use my second ability, I absorb all the damage they do to me for 3 seconds, and now I have an overshield in the top right, over guard, and now I can just dish back some damage. My third ability is just the buff that gives me increased damage, strength, ability damage, and just overall damage. And then I can just stun them with my fourth ability if I'm taking too much damage, shoot them out. Very basic beginner-styled Warframe, to be honest, and a very simple kit, but very effective and very strong overall. One of his abilities, the third ability, Roar, where he does an AoE strength increase, one of the best abilities to use and swap around onto other Warframes, so it's a very well-loved ability. Oh, it doesn't actually show up. Oh no, it does show up there. So 139% increased damage on Roar. Oh, what a good Warframe. And then of course we have another beginner favorite, which is Wukong. This is a Warframe that is a very beginner favorite Warframe and really strong early game. A, it's very popular in China because Sun Wukong, and B, the first ability creates a clone, and the AI clone just goes out and attacks enemies. You also have invulnerability, where you absorb damage and then dish it back. You have your second ability, where you're invincible and you also heal. And then you have your fourth, which is a weapon that you whip out. Either way, Wukong's a very strong and interesting early game Warframe, and just a general good Warframe. But he is very basic as well, so you might play him a lot early on, and then you might eventually just drop playing him because you're like, well, he is really good, but I don't know, he's just not for me. It always depends. There's so many Warframes in this game, and so much to do, that you don't really have to sweat it too much. Boop. Like, you can try to worry about it too much, but it's not really worth it. Warframe is a fun and chill looter shooter where you essentially just run around, dick around, and then take out all the enemies, so that's just a little Warframe showcase, but as of right now, I think the game has 62 Warframes, and it has Prime Warframes, which are essentially upgraded, stronger versions of the base Warframe. So let me know what you think of all the Warframes, everybody. There's just so many in the game, so you can always take a look, judge my fashion, and take a look in-game to see what some of the favorites or favorite kits are for the Warframes, if you ever want to try them, but since there are so many, just keep that in mind. If we quickly want to take a look at all of the different weapons in Warframe, this game is also pretty massive when it comes to weapons. There's 794 weapons, Warframes, and things to level overall. If we look at primary weapons, 192, 150 secondaries, and 227 melee weapons. So the drip on the melee weapons are really cool. All of them have pretty fun looking unique attack animations, so I'm just gonna pause the AI so you can just see what's going on in here. if I just start attacking the enemies, you can also just get insane speed boost, which makes it even goofier. But if you start attacking the enemies, you'll see like, hey, the attack animations are looking pretty good. You do nice little flippy flips when you're jumping around there. And, you know, it looks pretty cool. Like, that's not too bad. You're just attacking. The attack speed looks cool. You're noticing I'm probably attacking faster as I kill some enemies because of my mod build. But like visually, melees look pretty cool. All of them do have unique, different attack animations, and those attack animations are per weapon, okay, per weapon style, and then you have a different stance for each style of melee weapon too. So a large variety of different attack patterns for each melee. This is like a blade and whip right here, right? So you can see, oh, you're gonna be jumping around and flapping around that blade and whip more. So it's a more unique attack pattern. That attack pulls enemies towards you right there. Right? Not bad. Not too shabby. And then we also have the other weapons, right? Melees with a primary and secondary weapons. So if we just take a quick look down all of these weapons, like this is the sheer variety. You have gun blades, so literally a gun, handgun essentially. Handgun, shotgun blade. You have weapons that get upgraded, incarnate weapons, more blade whips, heavy, massive blades, dual cleavers there, swords, sick Gunson fan, Docra Prime, right? Basic weapons. And then, of course, weapons also have all fashioning. You can fashion frame your weapons, your Warframe, different coloring, throw on whatever you want. You can throw on a different skin if you feel like it. The game's pretty big, okay? After 12 years, no shock, there's a lot of shenanigans going on. And then once you get into primary and secondary weapons, it gets even crazier. So I already showed off the Atomos. This is a beam weapon that turns into an explosive weapon. And then we have a basic secondary, the dual tox assist. You want to get headshots with this weapon and take out enemies. And then you transform it, like the Atomos just did, because it's an incarnate weapon, into a really fast-firing gun that ricochets bullets off of, well, between, I should say, enemies, if they're close enough together. And it has, like, 200 ammo, 250 ammo or something when you initially transform it. So you might just be thinking, like, oh my god, what's going on? It's absolute insanity. And then you just go, you just take out the enemies, all of them, just like that. Warframe's such a lovely game. It will take you an insanely high amount of time to farm everything up, because it's just such a big game, right? I wouldn't worry too much about it, and you don't have to worry about getting every single thing in the game by any means. This game is a collectionist game, but once you have a good amount of Warframes or weapons that you enjoy and are strong, you'll probably have a good time, right? Look at my Kuva Barak. Look at that, and you go pop, 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 pop. This is a weapon that I've definitely not built. There's a lot of weapons like that where I just kind of messed around with them a little bit. There's an execution finisher. Just messed around a little bit, but I definitely don't use the weapon too much. After all, once you have hundreds of weapons, that's going to be pretty common, right? So my least used weapons are some of the early game weapons that I just built up, leveled them up. But this game has just so much stuff, so keep that in mind. My primary weapons, though, oh my god. Primary weapons are the bread and butter. You have so many random different types of weapons. So this is a hand cannon right there. Shoots out normal strong damage, or alt fire shoots out explosives. What's up? And it regenerates ammo. That's the best part, so you don't even have to worry about it. Oh my god, look how beautiful that is. Whew. But I showed off a lot of strong beam weapons. There's also really weird type of beam weapons. The fan favorite, Toward Incarnon, it's a silly little viral gun that does good damage. You shoot at enemies, and then it turns into a beam weapon that chains off of the ground to hit enemies. So it can chain off enemies, the ground, and whatever you want to hit enemies. It's so goofy, but I love it. Like, you can't get mad at that. Oh my god, so good. And then if we continue on, there's other massive fun secondaries like the Tenant Arca Plasmor, which is used to shoot massive AoE mag dumps in front of enemies, and it has such a large shooting Radius? You're like, what do you mean by that? Look at that! It shoots forward like an AoE type of forward pulse in kind of like a window-like format. Look at it. So if you want to look at the shot, it's like a weird USB-C ass looking connection. And it just shoots forward, destroys enemies. Oh, you gotta love it. Either way, those are some of the weapons that you might enjoy once you start playing Warframe, but again, look at all of these weapons. There's so many weapons that once you slowly go through, you're gonna find the weapons that you primarily enjoy using. You're gonna find the ones that you find strong and interesting, and then you'll probably stick with those. So yeah, let me know what you think so far of the video, everybody. And as always, sub, like, and you can even use Epic Games creator code Pupsker if you want to support the channel and buy anything on the Epic Games Store, as I am an Epic partner, so thank you so much. Of course, one of the huge parts of Warframe are all of the quests and story. I'm not going to click into any of these so that you don't get any lore information, but once you start the game, you start with the Awakening main quest to learn about the game. And then from there, oh boy, the game pops off. Vor's Prize and the Teacher, some early intro kind of noob beginner quests. Then you start Vox Solaris, kind of open world. Once Awake, some infested shenanigans. Heart of Deimos, an open world quest. Arcwing, flying space combat. Nata, lore. Second Dream, lore. Rising Tide, oh, massive spaceship space combat. Chains of Harrow, right? Posti Prologue, Sacrifice, Duviri, Jade Shadows, New War, Angels of Zariman, Whispers in the Wall, Lotus Eaters, the Hex. A lot of open worlds and a lot of lore areas in this general main quest sequence. After 12 years, Warframes ended up, no shock, making a lot of main quests. Right here are all of the main quests, but they've also made a lot of side quests. So these are Warframe quests. A lot of these are quests to obtain new Warframes and some other side loot. I don't know if it's all quests to obtain Warframes, but I think this is pretty much all of the quests to obtain side Warframes. So you get some of these quests done, you get a little bit of lore, info, have a good time, and then go on your merry way. One of my favorite quests are Chains of Harrow. Even though it's a main quest, this is considered more of a side quest to obtain the Warframe. But it does contain a lot of lore, so that's why I think they made it a main quest. But this is Chains of Harrow, one of my favorite quests in-game. It's where you can learn about the Warframe Harrow and the dark background lore behind some Warframe shenanigans. And honestly, absolutely beautiful. The Sacrifice, another beautiful Warframe quest. So a lot of these quests, you can replay them really early on, and then if you want to enjoy them a year or two later on because you really like the lore of the game, or you forgot the lore of the game, you can do that as well. I plan to do that soon enough where I go through 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 quests in like a day, or maybe 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 because we already did the Teacher. There are just so many quests in Warframe that I want to redo them all and get them all up on YouTube as videos. But with that, again, the Warframe side quests, and then there are the regular side quests, which these are just like unlocks, lore, information, things like that. And then it's just fun memery. Surprisingly, over 12 years, Warframe only has 6 side quests there. 3, 6, 9, 12 side Warframe quests, and then 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18, 21. They have 22 considered main quests. So all things considered, Warframe only has around 40 quests. Over 12 years of development, that averages out to about like, what, 3 to 4 quests a year, depending on the year, of course. I guess averages out more to 3. So yeah, they're all pretty cool, and I very much enjoy them, but I'm curious what everyone thinks of the quests, if you've played through a handful, a lot of them, etc. and so forth, and which quests are your favorite. But I definitely think the quests and the stories for Warframe are a huge incentive to play the game, because guess what? They're beautiful. It has really good lore, and I love a lot of the characters. But I'm here to schmooze about Warframe today, so that's no shock. Warframe has many open world areas in the game as well, surprisingly. The main open world areas are as follows. On Earth, we have Cetus. On Venus, we have Fortuna. On Deimos, we have the Necrolysk into the Cambion Drift. And then our last open world is the Duviri Paradox, which is a very lovely area here, which you could unlock one day, but that one's a little later on. Open world areas in Warframe are what they kind of did for people who are wanting a more MMO-like experience out of Warframe. Because this game's gone through 12 years of development, which means they've tried so much stuff. Some of it's gone really well. Other times it's gone terribly wrong, Railjack launch. And that's just kind of how it is. So this was Warframe's idea to combat and kind of make the game more open world, more MMO-like. It has a lot of open world hubs and areas, but this was their idea to make the game more MMO-like. You have monsters on the ground that you can go and fight. You can be like, oh, I take these out. Yeah, get them killed. Fight them, fight them. You have resources that you can go and collect on the ground that you will need in order to collect and gain resources, right? You have like little loot obelisks that you can find and farm up in this game. So with each open world, they added obviously a ton of side content so that you could get things farmed up, which makes sense, right? You also have fishing in each one of the open worlds. For this one, you have to look for fish down here. Sometimes is that a fish? Yeah. You see the fish right there, the cryostopus? I can't fish right now. It's so hard. Oh dear Lord. You know what? I'll catch you. Yeah, we caught the fish. So Warframe has done a lot of things to open worldify and MMOify the game way more than it was initially. Because initially, this game was purely a looter shooter with some world tiles, and then I think a couple hubs for people to go in relays with trading. There's also trading premium currency, items for updates, things like that. So you can trade even non-premium currency, right? Just trading warframes and weapon blueprints. So the game is massive, and there's just so much to do and explore. And this is just one of the open worlds. If I quickly take a look at one of the other open worlds, there's essentially 3 variant of the open worlds, right? Well, 4 with Duviri. But the 3 ones on the main world area are as follows. We had the infested one, Deimos. We have Earth, which is kind of like Plains of Eidolon, which is just a normal scene. There's ground, earth, grass. It's kind of like mountainy areas, but you know, not cold winter mountains, but just mountainous areas. And then we have Fortuna on Venus, which is more so cold mountainous areas, okay? So there are 3 different big open worlds on the main star chart, and then you have the Duviri Paradox one, which is technically in another star chart, but you learn all about what that might mean when you actually start playing the game and when you actually start playing through the quests. So this is the Fortuna open world. It has a couple quests in this area, quest lines to follow, you get lore, you get to figure out what's going on behind the faction that lives on Fortuna. It's kind of like a terrible enslaved money-driven, capitalism gone to the extreme sort of society. And there's also, of course, like a lot of loot that you have to collect around, like these things. I've had to collect a lot of loot in Fortuna lately, so you just go around, you collect some stuff, and then do a bunch of shenanigans. You can also start quests and bounties from this game area sometimes, so you don't always have to go back to the initial area. Instead, you can just teleport on back to the starting spawn in Fortuna and talk to the vendors that are around here. And if you ever want to, you can just play the open world for like hours, do missions, just don't bother leaving. The only annoying issues there is if you get kicked out and it for some reason doesn't save and none of your progress saves. So I would personally limit open world interactions to 1 hour. But yeah, those are the open worlds, everybody. And the last thing I really just wanted to go over is the fact that this game is freaking massive at this point. And since they built it up to be kind of an MMO light in how it functions. It has so much side content. Do you want to do Warframe dating simulator? Because guess what? Here's my in-game dating, I guess, girlfriend slash wife. I don't know, man. So it has a dating simulator where they eventually move in with you. Here is the Warframe dating sim where you get to know a lot of different proto-frames, you talk to them, you gift them items, right? It has a lot of those MMO aspects to it. It has full trading, you can trade the premium currency, you can trade a large portion of the weapons and Warframe building blueprints to people. You cannot trade a lot of direct resources, but you can trade a lot of prime, like every prime part for every Warframe and weapon. And again, prime parts are just buffed up Warframes and weapons. And the star chart map is so huge. We have similar to Earth, or I should say, similar to our solar system. It started off our solar system pretty normally. Over time, they added stuff. We have a Kuva Fortress, we have a Lua Moon on Earth, we have Deimos, right? Phobos, Pluto, Sedna, Zeramin, Void. We have clans. My clan dojo is the Corgi Cult. Clans are big sections where you can go walk around, get some in-game loot. You can actually like visit clan vendors to get resources. We have Barrow Katir tomorrow. It's an every 2-week vendor where we can buy some items. We have normal mode in the game. And then we have Steel Path mode, which is hard mode in the game. So it's just such a large game at this point. Events, alerts to get loot, different game modes, Steel Path incursions, invasions to fight for whichever kind of faction you want, get some loot, syndicates, which are like factions to get more loot, Void Fishers to collect primes. We have sorties to do missions. We have Archon hunts to get stronger. Warframe is just such a massive game. There's so much to do and a lot to explore, and you will you will probably have to like Google and search around things for Warframe once in a while because it is essentially a massive MMO. There's just so much shit to go over. Either way, everyone, that is Warframe as of right now. I think it's one of the best free-to-play games to try today, and if you like it, good shit. If you don't, that's okay too. You don't have to invest any money until you actually like a game that when it's free to play after all. So let me know what you think. If you want to support the channel, it really helps if you like the video, hype up the video if you're on mobile, comment, subscribe, check out the other socials, you know, like twitch.tv/Pupsker, things like that, all in the description down below. And I also have my Epic Games creator code Pupsker if you ever buy anything on the Epic Games Store. So everyone, that is Warframe and my jank explanation of everything. Let me know what you think. There's always a ton that you could talk about, so we could make this video like 5 hours going over every little thing in Warframe, but just let me know what you think of it and if you plan to actually try the game or already play the game. Cheers, everybody.